What is up, Miami Dolphin fans? This is Matt Ferrara. I am one half of the Ice the Kicker podcast brought to you by capsON Sports, and this is another Miami Dolphin edition of Matt's Mocks. This is our second one here. So again, if you enjoy the first one, here we go, round two. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and let's get right into it. Now, I'll preface this video with saying that today we are at, or by the time this gets released, there'll be 9 days until the draft. So I am extremely excited to see what happens here. But even on top of that, some rumors are swirling around from Ian Rappaport that the Dolphins are flirting that 6th overall pick to a team that potentially needs a quarterback. Maybe Denver Broncos, maybe even the Panthers if they're not too sure about Sam Darnold for the long term. Maybe a team like Washington, maybe a team like Chicago. Who knows? Obviously, they're not going to trade back with New England, so that's a good thing. That I don't care what they give up. I'm not trading back with New England, but I think this team right here, Denver Broncos, I think makes the most sense here. So before we even get started into this, I'm gonna lock in a trade right here for uh Denver and Miami here. So let's see what we can get here for the Dolphins. So we'll go Dolphins trading with the Broncos. Now, obviously, you're going to have a pick swap here of the first round, and I think you're probably going to get a first rounder next year. Now, it's just about what else can you get in this year's draft. Being that they're only jumping up 3 spots, I don't think it's going to be that much from a draft pick evaluation chart that a lot of teams and GMs use. But the fact that you're paying or you're trading up to get a quarterback means you're going to have to pay a little bit extra than you may have if you're trading up for somebody else. So maybe we throw in a third. Unlikely here. Give me a fourth. See if they'll do a fourth. We'll feel this one out. I hope this goes through. There we go. So in essence, we got a pick swap one from 6 to 9. And we picked up a 2022 first, and then we picked up a 2021 fourth rounder here for the Dolphins. Oh, well, that doesn't make much sense, motherfucker. Hold it, stick, just gotta restart now. Thought they were gonna go quarterback. Damn. Shit. Fuck. What is up, Miami Dolphin fans? My name is Matt Ferrara, back here again with Matt's Mock, brought to you by capsON Sports. And I am one half of the Ice the Kicker podcast, also brought to you by capsON Sport. Fucker. Damn it. What is up again, Miami Dolphin fans? My name is Matt Ferrara. I am one half of the Ice the Kicker podcast brought to you by capsON Sports. And this is the second edition of the Miami Dolphins exclusive Matt's Mocks 2.0 here. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And again, I'll start this video off by saying, one, we are 9 days away from the draft here, and I am extremely excited. Probably, again, I'm not as excited as last year just because there was so much anxiety and nerves and excitement about who are we going at quarterback with the 5th pick. But this year, definitely sitting here at number 6, and now even with Ian Rappaport sending out there that maybe the Dolphins are trading back to 9. So for maybe the Broncos or to another team that wants a quarterback. So I'm excited to see what the Dolphins do. They're almost at a point where they could do no wrong with who they get at 6, or even if they trade back and accumulate more picks. But if they keep trading back, they at some point need to cash in on these draft picks. It's always nice to have draft capital, But even nicer than that is having great players on your roster. So let's get right into it now. Got Lawrence going first, Wilson, Fields, Lance. Now let's see any offers. So nothing there. Not going to do that. Not going to trade back again with Philly. Again, this would be one that if I'm the Dolphins, I 100% do. I don't think it's totally realistic, so I won't do it here. I think the ideal trade back scenario, especially if Penei Sewell goes here and the Dolphins can get their pick of, or if the Dolphins can assure themselves that they get any of Pitts, Chase, Waddle, or Smith, I think then you trade back a little bit. Again, if you're happy with all four of those guys, I think just might as well trade back a little bit, accumulate some more draft capital in this draft class. Now, I'm gonna see if we could trade back with Denver here and see what we could do. Now, hopefully, if we do pick them, or if we do trade with them, they take a quarterback, so it actually is a little bit more realistic. So 6 for a 9. I think you'd be able to get their 2022 1. I think maybe you could get their 4th rounder. Let's see if they could do it. Oh, Broncos denied the trade. Let's try for a 5th rounder. So it looks like they'll do a 5th rounder. Congratulations, the Broncos have accepted your offer. Hoping they draft a quarterback. They didn't. God damn. Hold on, stick, and do it again. Fucker. This is annoying. All right, staying at 6 next time. Shit. What is up, Miami Dolphin fan? Fuck, I don't like that one. What is up, Fin fans? My name is Matt Ferrara. I am one half of the Ice the Kicker podcast brought to you by capsON Sports, and this is the second edition of the Miami Dolphins exclusive Matt's mock draft here. Again, brought to you by capsON Sports. So I'll start this video off by saying that one, we are 9 days away from the draft, and I cannot wait to see what the Dolphins do at 6. Do they even maybe trade back to maybe 9 with the Broncos? I know Ian Rappaport tweeted that there was a possibility that they were floating around that 6 overall pick, and I think that was kind of the reason that the Dolphins were rumored to go from 12 to 6, not only to get that elite pass catcher if they wanted one, assuming that there was going to be one there with the slew of quarterbacks that they knew were going to go off the board early on, but also keeps them in positions to say, hey, if you like more than one of those pass catchers, if not, if you love all 4 of them, why not trade back a little bit? So I think the Dolphins are in a very, very exciting position. And there's almost at a point where they could do no wrong with whoever they get. Obviously, if they become a bust, yes, that would be wrong. But on the surface, I don't think anyone is going to be mad with who they get at number 6 if it's any one of these elite pass catchers or Penei Sewell, who is an elite offensive tackle. So without further ado, let's get right into it now. So right off the bat, everything looks about right. I mean, maybe a flip-flop here of Fields and Wilson. Maybe a quarterback goes there. But again, if they went Sewell and then Bengals went Pitts, absolutely would make sense. Now, I've been big on the Jalen Waddle train to start. Then I was big on the Kyle Pitts train after his pro day. Then I was convinced that Penei Sewell would be a perfect fit here down in Miami, maybe get a wide receiver later. And obviously, Jamar Chase running that 4.38 40 made me question, well, if what I thought he was lacking was speed, he clearly showed he has it. But when you watch his tape, he's an elite receiver, but I don't think he is a elite burner. I don't think he plays at a 4.38. Not to knock him too much, because again, I think he's going to have a great career in the NFL. But 9 days away from the draft, I rewatched the national championship highlights yesterday. And when I watched Devonta Smith just play football, he is amazing. Again, I don't care if he's 170 pounds. I don't care if he's 160 pounds. He gets open, whether it's press, whether they're playing zone, man, 7 yards back, 3 yards back, 10 yards back, 1 inch back right in front of his face. He gets open. And that's all you could ask for out of a receiver. And then when you compare him to Waddle as far as at the catch point, Devonta Smith is a better catcher of the football, but obviously Waddle brings you that blazing, explosive speed. But Devonta Smith still has that speed too to turn that 5 yard slant into a 75-yard touchdown. And I think pairing Tua up with his former receiver down from Alabama, Devonta Smith, makes sense. I know he may not be the consensus number one pick that many Dolphin fans previously had, but seeing Sewell and Pitts go off the board, I think Devonta Smith fits perfectly here. I mean, why not? So we're going Smith here at 6. Obviously, figured Chase was going to go right after. Now I'll start off by saying I'm hoping that Micah Parsons or Parsons went. So trade back with the Steelers. Don't want to do it. Trade back one spot with Washington. Again, I don't really see the point of that. I mean, is what it is. They're probably going to go after Mac Jones, but I think this is a chance where you're going to have just about every edge rusher available besides Jalen Phillips here. You see, you got Kwity Paye available. You got Azeez Ojulari, and they desperately need some help at edge rusher. But I think this offseason is specifically dedicated to helping Tua and rebuilding that offense around him. And I think what better way to do that by starting off and getting Devonta Smith and then adding on to that and getting a guy like Najee Harris out of Alabama. He is an absolute freak. I mean, looking at his metrics here, 6'2", 230. I know if he ran a 40, he didn't at his pro day. He'd probably be in the 4.5s, which isn't a burner, but he could still run through you, jump over you, run around you, do whatever he needs to do. He can catch passes. He could pass block. He can absolutely do it all. And this is what the Dolphins need. They haven't had this premier elite running back talent since Ricky Williams. Now, that has to be 15 years ago since we've said, wow, like we really have a great running back out there. And then again, not to knock Myles Gaskin, but he's a good player, but he's not a premier running back. And I think having Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed be that 2-3 kind of tandem there with Najee Harris at the number 1, that makes everybody's job a lot easier, and it takes a lot of pressure off Myles Gaskin. So now he can kind of play his game, fill in when he's needed, and do what he does best. And you have Najee Harris there take most of the workload as he did down in Alabama and prove why he's the best running back in this draft class. So again, let me know in the comments or comment down below whether you like the picks that I've had so far. Don't like them. Again, I'm all for conversations. I'm not going to get mad if you don't like it. It is what it is. This is just what I would do that I think would help the Dolphins out the most. But I'm definitely open to all conversations here. Now here, let's take a peek back. So Kadarius Toney, again, he's a good wide receiver that maybe I have my eye on just in case we didn't get Devonta Smith. But looking here, I mean, just to kind of, so there you go. Landon Dickerson was someone I definitely wanted to get, but got picked up by the Steelers. And that wouldn't surprise me by any means. Now, Zaven Collins is a great player to add in to this team right now. But I'm also scared that Creed Humphrey is probably one of 3 centers in this draft that are very good behind Landon Dickerson and also Quinn Meinerz out of Wisconsin Whitewater. I know Wyatt Davis is there too. So maybe we say 4 kind of centers there, but let's just think about it. Again, I really want Creed Humphrey here, but I think seeing a guy like Zaven Collins at 36 is just too good a value there to pass up on. And I guess we're going to kind of have to hope and pray that Creed Humphrey doesn't get picked here. I'm trying to look ahead. What teams might kind of go center here? Because this may be a chance for the Dolphins to trade up here after getting. So we'll go with Zaven Collins. And then, again, I know we're picking at 50. I think the Cowboys are a team that could potentially go with the center. I know they lost Travis Fredrickson or Fredericks, I forgot his name, center last year, retired. So I think just to play it safe, let's trade up with the 49ers. We'll let one more pick go by. Hope it's not Creed Humphrey. Perfect. Trade up with the 49ers here and try to ensure that we can get Creed Humphrey, that center there for Tua, to take snaps behind for many years to come. So the Dolphins, and we got NFC. So we're going to go 50 for 43. Figure we give him a 2022, fifth rounder? Maybe a sixth. Let's just say for all intensive purposes, we'll go 5 since we're trading back up into the early second round. So let's send that offer over. Perfect. They accepted it. And then we can get our center here, Creed Humphrey out of Oklahoma. And we still didn't lose any draft picks in this year's draft. So I think it is a perfect scenario for the Dolphins to use that draft capital that they had and that they've picked up on and accumulated over the years, and now kind of be a little bit more aggressive because again, I know you can keep trading back and trading back and trading back, and draft capital is awesome. But what's even better than that is drafting great players. And I think that's where the Dolphins need to be in this position right now, because you're in a position right now where you have your quarterback. And now, again, obviously the jury's still out on him. I get that. But you need guys who are going to be able to contribute and help him now, and then obviously help the team now. So now we're looking at Dwayne Escridge is very, very intriguing here. And I think he is the type of guy who can kind of compete for that slot receiver role with Lynn Bowden, with Albert Wilson, even a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown can. He's a little bit of a 6'1". Let's see where's probably wide receiver offense fits skill set. Vertical or quick timing offense with spread principles. I mean, if that doesn't describe the Dolphins' offense, then I don't know what does. Maybe get a little backup plan here for Preston Williams just in case his injuries keep him out. But I'm going to hold off on the wide receiver position, even though, again, there's 2 guys here that I would really, really like. But you have Will Fuller. I'm just going to assume and pray that we re-sign him pending he does pretty well this year. At the very least, I could see them franchise tagging him. Now, again, there's just nothing here that kind of jumps off the board. I mean, I know we need edge. Maybe so 6'5", 266. That kind of fits the mold as far as what the Dolphins look for their edge rushers, and that's just straight mass. So maybe we take a little feeler on Janarius Robinson from Florida State here. And again, I know seeing these 2 guys, it hurts a little bit to pass up on them. But I have some faith in Albert Wilson. I definitely have some faith in Preston Williams because he has shown that he could be good. Health is a different story, but I think a lot of guys struggle with health in the NFL. It's a brutal sport, especially at those positions that get tackled and hit all the time. So let's go with Janarius Robinson, edge rusher out of Florida State here at pick 81. Now, again, I know the Dolphins have been kind of tied to maybe getting an offensive tackle, whether early in the draft with Sewell at 6, or maybe even later in the draft for depth piece. But the Dolphins just picked up offensive tackle. I'm trying to pull up his name real quick. Who'd we get? DJ Flucker, offensive tackle. So maybe that kicks in Robert Hunt to offensive guard, and I'm pretty sure Solomon Kinley then can kind of compete for that left guard spot, or just fill in for Eric Flowers after next year. And then obviously in this draft class, I drafted Creed Humphrey to be that center to compete, and I'm assuming he would win the job over Matt Skura that we picked up for a 1-year deal. And again, I've been talking about this a lot on the Ice Kicker podcast and my other mock drafts, is that so many teams have these 1-year deals. And then we're looking at the draft. Obviously, you're getting these guys for 4 and maybe 5 years, depending if they're a first rounder or not. But I don't know if a guy on a 1-year deal is stopping me from getting a good prospect in this draft class. So that's where I think a lot of teams are going to have some interesting decisions to make, is saying, hey, I might be at a spot in the draft where, hey, I love this guy. It's may not be a position of need, but the guys I have in those positions for this specific season are only on a 1-year deal. So it doesn't really do too much for me. So yeah, right now, team need wise, we knocked off wide receiver, we knocked off edge, we knocked off running back, we knocked off interior offensive line. I don't really think tight end is a position of need. Again, I think you're going to re-sign Gesicki or franchise tag him at the least. Durham Smythe is a cheap kind of bring back there. You already have Adam Shaheen under contract for a couple more years at least. You definitely don't need cornerback here. Dolphins seem to have a plethora of cornerbacks at their disposal. Safety is an interesting position here, but it's got to be someone that makes sense. We're sitting here at pick 56. Now, I look at a guy like Caden Stearns here. Anytime you could see the word versatile, I think Miami Dolphins defense, and I think Brian Flores. And you see his scheme fit is versatile safety that can play in both zone and spend some spurts in man. Developmental versatile safety. You pair him along with former teammate Brandon Jones to kind of be the successors to the Eric Rowe and Bobby McCain. I think this is a perfect situation for the Dolphins to do what they do best, and that's trust their coaching and trust their development. So I think this is a kind of perfect storm for Caden Stearns to come in and be familiar with Brandon Jones back there as a safety and get the tutelage from Brian Flores to kind of make him a potential starting safety for Miami Dolphins here. And just recapping here again, we went offense, defense, and then defense now so far in this draft. So far, I'm kind of loving what we're doing here. Now, obviously, if the Dolphins get any Alabama guys, I'm probably going to be happy, with the exception of Mac Jones, of course. But again, like I said earlier in this mock draft here, at that 6 overall pick, there really is going to be, it's going to be tough for the Dolphins to upset me in any way. Even offensive tackle with Penei Sewell, again, I wouldn't love it, but I understand it. I mean, anytime you could not only help out your franchise quarterback, but you're helping out your run game as well, and that just makes everybody's life on that offense a lot easier. So I'm pretty sure the Dolphins should only have one pick left. Might just be in the 7th round here. Again, I said this before, kind of knocked off all our team needs. You're basically taking a feeler on whatever value you kind of see. Guy like Jalen Darden, if he was still there, I think that would be a nice pickup too. He's an absolute burner when it comes to wide receivers in this draft class. Really kind of hoping he falls right here. Perfect. So Jalen Darden again, I know 5'9", you see 170, reminds you of Jakeem Grant. Keep in mind, we're paying Jakeem Grant, I think, like $4 million a year. And that just, that doesn't really kind of sit right with me when you can get a guy like Jalen Darden, who's basically the same player, probably honestly has an inch or two on him vertically here. And they do the same things. They're burners. They're more gadget players. And I think there's nothing wrong with having that in the 7th round. There is a problem when you're paying him to just basically be your punt returner for $4 to $6 million a year. So getting Jalen Darden here out of North Texas to round off this draft of Miami Dolphins, I think would be awesome to walk away with here. So it's just rounding up here. And if this draft were to come to fruition, I would be very, very excited. Now I'm curious, Dolphin fans, let me know in the comments below. Are you more anxious or excited for this draft or last year's draft? And I know for me, probably would be last year's draft just because we were trying to find out who's going to be our franchise quarterback for at least the next 3 to 5 years. And we went with my guy, and I wanted Tua all along. I bashed Herbert pretty hard, and obviously I was wrong on that. I can admit I was wrong there. But this draft class is going to be, I think, even more exciting because we're going to get I think we're going to get a pass catcher, and that's someone who's a little bit more of an exciting pick than we got with our 2 first rounders last year, Austin Jackson and Noah Igbenogany. Again, good players, I think, could eventually become great players, but we're going to get a dynamic, I think, explosive playmaker to help out with Tua and just help out this offense, something that we really haven't had for many years. And I know Parker is a very good player, but he's not that explosive, kind of exciting player that the Dolphins need right now. So, recapping this second edition of the Miami Dolphin exclusive Matt's Mock, we got Devonta Smith at number 6, Najee Harris at number 18, Zaven Collins at number 36, traded back up with the let's take a look at it real quick. We traded from 50 to 43. And we also traded a 2022 fifth rounder to the Niners, and we picked up Creed Humphrey to hopefully be our starting center. Got Janarius Robinson for some edge help out of Florida State at pick 81. Then at 156, we went Caden Stern safety out of Texas, and then rounding off with a more gadget kind of speedy burner there, wide receiver out of North Texas, Jalen Darden at 231. Once again, I am so excited for this draft class, only 9 days away. Dolphin fans, please let me know how I did and let me know what you would do in the comments below. Thanks again for watching.